Everybody say amen.
Amen.
I'll call your attention to the second book of the Kings, the 20th chapter, the first and the second verse. You'll find these words. In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death.
Unto death, yes.
And the prophet Isaiah the son of Amoz came to him and said unto him,
Yes.
Thus said the Lord,
Oh,
set thine house in order,
oh yes.
for thou shalt die and not live.
Yeah. Lord have mercy.
Now the verse from which we have taken our subject reads as follows. Then he turned his face to the wall
Oh, yes.
and prayed unto the Lord.
Yes.
Then he turned
Turn his face.
to the wall
Yes.
and prayed
Pray.
unto the Lord.
Unto the Lord. Pray with him, Salem. Come on.
I want to talk this morning from the subject, if walls could talk.
Yeah. If walls could talk. Lord have mercy. Come on through with it.
If walls
Whoa.
could talk.
Oh, yeah.
A few weeks ago, a record artist by the name of Little Milton
Yes. Pray with him, Salem.
came out with one of the most striking, astounding, amazing, but yet thoughtful rock and roll tune
Oh, yes. Listen at him, church.
to ever hit the record world,
Lord have mercy. Yes.
that when heard cannot help but to baffle
Well, Lord Jesus.
the minds of every individual who hears the record.
Yes.
Let me begin this morning by quoting to you the words of the song
Oh, yeah. Well. Lord have mercy.
as it is related by Little Milton in his record.
Oh, yes. Lord Jesus.
He says, if walls could talk,
Yes. Lord have mercy.
I'm sure you'd hear
Yeah.
a lot of things that would make you cry.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Walls could talk.
Now, ain't you glad?
Land.
Well, you ought to be glad
Yeah.
that walls
Can't talk.
don't talk.
Lord have mercy.
If doorknobs could tell
Yes. Oh, no. Pray with him, Salem.
who's been in and out,
Yeah. Well.
and who's been in while you were away on your job,
Oh, yeah. Come on through with it.
ain't you glad
Ain't you glad? Oh, yeah.
that doors don't talk?
Lord have mercy. Oh, that's true.
If cars could say
Yes. Yeah.
who's been inside
Oh, yes.
and who's been taken for a ride,
Yeah.
ain't you glad?
Ain't you glad? Oh, yes.
Well, you ought to be glad
Yes.
that cars
Can't talk.
don't talk.
Yeah. You might have been, Reverend. Yes, you might have. Come
If,
on through with it.
if shoes could tell
Oh, yes.
where they have been
Well,
when they claim to be somewhere visiting a friend,
yeah.
now ain't you glad?
Ain't you glad? Pray with him, church.
Well, you ought to be glad
Oh, yes.
that shoes don't talk.
Talk. Lord have mercy.
In a world of trouble we'd be
Oh, yes.
if things were ever told on me.
Well, Lord have mercy.
He says my love life would be through
Yes.
cause I'm guilty. How about you?
Oh, yes.
If things ever talk that way,
Lord Jesus. Pray with him, Savior.
ain't no telling what they say.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad
So glad.
that things don't
Don't
talk.
talk. Oh, yes. Pray with him, church. Come.
These are the words
Yes.
of the song as related by the artist in the record.
Yes.
Now, to begin with, I want to open you up by saying
Oh, preach.
there's no need of any of you sitting in here
Yes. Lord have mercy.
this morning trying to pretend that this record doesn't matter to you one way or the other. No need of you sitting there saying, Reverend, the fact that walls talk or don't talk doesn't make me any difference, because it does. For you see, none of us in here are perfect.
Lord have mercy.
None of us, you nor me, are freed from spot or wrinkle. We all have done some wrong.
Come on through there, Reverend. You're hidden.
We all have made some mistakes. We all have committed some sin.
Pray with him, church.
We all have done things that we want nobody else to know about. And if walls could talk, would none of us be here this morning?
Come on through.
I know I wouldn't. Because we all would be in a world of trouble.
World of trouble.
If walls could talk,
Preach, pray with him, say.
what would they say about your secret life? If doorknobs could say this morning, then who would they say has been in and out of your house? If cars could say, who would they tell this morning, or what would they tell that you've been hauling around over time?
Oh, you couldn't.
If shoes could tell where they have been, would they say this morning that you have walked in the straight and narrow way? Or would your shoes say that sometime you wavered and stumbled by the wayside? Salem, ain't you glad? If not, you ought to be glad that shoes can't talk. The writer says at the end of the psalm that he's glad that things don't talk. Now this is a unique characteristic and attribute that things possess, that we ought to try and pattern after.
Pray with him, Salem.
The fact that things don't talk
Don't talk.
mean that a whole lot of us need to copy and pattern our lives after this unique characteristic. Things don't talk. Because you see, so many of us are guilty of just talking too much. Many have been killed. Many are dead and gone just because somebody chose to talk. You can tell somebody an inward secret and ask them to promise you that they're not going to tell anybody else. And before you can get home, what you told them is all over time. We make the mistake in many cases of speaking before you think. What you need to do is think twice before you speak once. So in many instances, I advise this morning that we pattern after things and do as Little Milton said, don't talk.
Don't talk. Oh, yeah.
You understand me?
What glory?
Yes, he says things,
Hey.
walls,
Yes. Well,
door,
yes.
cars, and
Yes.
shoes.
Lord have mercy.
Don't talk. Now, if walls could talk,
Oh, Lord.
what would some of the results and consequences be?
Yeah. Pray with him, church. Come on.
Well, if walls could talk, some folk that you think are your
Yeah.
best friends,
Lord have mercy.
walls would tell you they are your worst enemy. They tell you to your face, I love you.
Yes.
But when they get home, they tell themselves, I hate it.
Yes. Oh, preach. Come on through with it.
You give your friend money,
Yes. Give him money.
try to help them out. Let them come in your house and sleep.
Yes.
Give them your key and let them ride around town in your car.
Yes.
And really, they are your biggest enemy.
Yes. Come on through. All you preaching.
The only reason you do it is because you can't hear what their walls would say. Because if their walls could talk,
Yes.
they tell you that they are your biggest enemy. If walls
Whoa.
could talk,
Oh, yeah. Pray with him, say.
yes, if walls could talk, some people
Yes.
that you think have been born again,
Yes.
some folk that you think are at the zenith or at the peak of regeneration,
Yes. Come on through with it.
some folk that present to the public
Yes.
that they are holy images,
Yes.
some folk that make you feel that God is all in them.
Oh, yes.
Have you seen folk that you don't think they do nothing wrong? Yet when it all boils down,
Well,
you find that they are not what they say they are. If walls could talk,
yes.
people that displayed this kind of a personality
Yeah.
would be found to be some of the biggest hypocrites.
Yeah. All you preaching. Come on.
And it's bad
Yeah.
for anybody
Yes.
to say he's or she is one thing
Oh, yes.
when really they are another.
Now, oh, sue me.
You know, these days and times you can't fool nobody no more. Folk ain't no fool
Oh, yeah.
like you may think they are.
Yeah.
Have you seen folk, well, child, I can't do that, 'cause the Lord don't want me to do it. The Bible said you ought not do that.
Yeah. Bible.
And then next thing you know, they're doing worse than what they said you ought not to do.
Come on. Oh, yeah.
Say what you will be
Yeah.
and be what you're going to say.
How much?
Ain't you glad
It's glad.
that walls don't talk?
Yeah.
If walls could talk,
Oh, yes.
many of the people you think are happy,
Well,
folk that you think are carefree,
yes.
every time you see them,
Oh,
they
yes.
got smiles on their faces.
Yes.
But if walls could talk, they tell you that those same folk with smiles on their faces
Yeah, shameful.
have bleeding and aching hearts deep down on the inside. Marilyn Monroe, who was one of the most beautiful and well-known movie stars
Oh, yeah.
Hollywood has ever known.
Lord have mercy.
When Marilyn Monroe hit the screen,
Yes.
people automatically got the impression
Whoa.
that she was a happy and carefree woman.
Yeah.
This woman being as attractive as she was,
Yeah.
the height of the epitome of beauty
Yeah.
was on the screen, and everybody felt that she had everything she wanted.
Well, Lord Jesus.
But if her walls could top this morning, they tell you about the numerous times that this movie star tried and attempted to commit suicide. If her walls, you understand, could merely talk. Yes, walls are very useful.
Oh, yes.
They are very significant.
Lord have mercy.
Walls provide certain things for us that we need.
Well,
Walls give us a certain amount of secrecy that we couldn't have if it wasn't for walls. A lot of times you want to be in private.
Well, Lord,
Don't want anybody to see what you're doing.
Lord have mercy.
Don't want to be bothered with the pressures
Pray with him, Salem.
of the outside world.
Preach. Come on.
You work 8 long hours.
Oh, yeah.
And when you get off your job, many times you just want to rest. You just want to relax. Be content, peaceful and serene.
Come on through.
And walls provide this kind of privacy for you. You understand? They do a whole lot.
Yes.
In aiding us through the vicissitudes of life.
Oh, yeah.
You know, much can be gathered
Much.
and much can be learned by a person's wall.
Yes. Preach.
When you walk on the inside
Well.
of a house
Oh, yeah.
and look at the wall,
Oh,
the wall in many cases will tell you
Yeah.
if that someone believes in Jesus or not.
Yeah.
For there are many houses you can go to,
Oh, yeah.
and when you walk in the door,
In the door.
look on the wall.
Yes.
The first thing you see is a picture
Yeah.
of Jesus' face.
Yeah.
Walls can tell a whole lot about a particular individual.
Lord have mercy. Pray with him, Salem. Come
Yes, walls down through the cataract of history,
on. Yes.
down through biblical history,
Oh, yeah.
down through secular history.
Lord have mercy.
Walls have told a great story.
Yeah.
Walls have made their contribution
Yeah.
toward the molding and the shaping
Yeah.
of Christianity
Lord have mercy.
and the shaping of our civilization.
Oh, yeah.
The Iron Curtain
Well.
is a wall
Oh.
that is in Germany.
Yeah.
This wall separates
What? Yeah.
or divides East Germany
Yeah.
from West Germany.
Lord have mercy.
The Iron Curtain is a wall
Yes.
that divides communism
Yeah.
from the powers of capitalism.
What? Yeah.
The Iron Curtain
Yeah.
is a wall that separates
Separate.
the
Salem.
powers of the United States
Yeah.
from the powers of Russia.
Oh, yeah.
Walls have certainly made
Yeah.
a great contribution. As far back as Joshua's day,
Yeah.
the walls played their part.
Yeah. Pray with him, Salem. Come on.
Joshua, you know the story.
Lord have mercy.
When he got ready to go over
Yes.
and possess the promised land,
Oh.
I heard God say, go on, Joshua,
Yes. Oh.
and capture that land.
Yeah.
But Joshua said, Lord,
Well.
I can't go
Can't go.
because the cities are too well fortified.
Yeah.
They have strong walls
Strong on wall.
all around them.
Pray with him, Salem. Come on.
And I'm not able to go
Yes.
and capture the Canaanites
Yeah.
because of their strong
Strong wall.
wall.
Oh, yeah. Strong wall.
I heard God told him,
Yeah.
Joshua,
Preach.
I want you to gather your people.
Yeah.
And I want you to march around the walls of Jericho.
Yeah.
Once a day.
Yeah.
Then on the seventh day, march around 7 times.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, the wall will come down.
Yeah.
Joshua gathered all of the Israelites.
Yeah. Glory.
Together he formed
Yeah.
his band.
Yeah.
They started moving and marching around the wall.
Yeah. Come on.
They went around the first time.
Well.
Didn't nothing happen.
Yeah.
They marched the second,
Oh, yeah.
the third, the fourth,
Oh, Jesus.
and the fifth time.
Yeah.
And nothing didn't happen.
Yeah.
They went around the sixth time.
Yeah.
And the walls cracked.
Yeah.
And they started to shout.
Oh, yeah.
But Joshua said, hush. The walls have not yet come down.
Yeah.
We've got to march 7 times before the walls will come down.
Oh, yeah. Pray with him.
They marched around the 7th time.
Yeah.
And true enough,
Oh, yeah.
the walls of Jericho came tumbling down.
Yeah.